They once walked together, believers, bound by one faith, one hope, one name. But as the light of truth began to sharpen, something began to break. Not a loud explosion, not an obvious war, a quiet parting, hearts moving in opposite directions. The hidden separation, and though few recognize it, it has already begun. There was a time when following Christ meant walking in the same direction as the world's admiration. The name Christian once echoed like honor. But now, in these final days, something sacred is being sifted. The easy faith is crumbling, and the true faith, the faith that costs something, is being tested in the fire. They will not tell you this in the open, but heaven has already set the test. And the question that now stands before every believer is not, do you believe? But, will you still believe when believing costs you everything? The people of God have always faced moments of division, not of chaos, but of clarity. When God draws near, He doesn't just reveal Himself, He reveals who truly belongs to Him. The same light that warms the faithful blinds the deceived. And so, the closer we move to the return of Christ, the more that line between true and false, light and shadow, will come into focus. But few understood what this meant. They thought the test would come through persecution alone, through open hatred or laws against the church. Yet the deeper test is quieter, and far more personal. It is the moment when love itself divides, when families disagree over truth, when friends part over conviction, when faith stands alone in a world that calls loyalty to God fanaticism. This is the hidden separation, the silent sorting of hearts that heaven allows before the great unveiling. And maybe this is our own hidden battle, not against flesh and blood, but against the temptation to blend in, to remain comfortable when God calls us to stand apart. Long ago, Jesus warned of this. He said, "Do not think that I came to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword." He was not speaking of war in the way men think of war, but of a divine line, the separation of truth from illusion, the living from the dead in spirit. The sword was truth, cutting through the disguise of religion, slicing through the fabric of false peace. It was not cruelty, it was cleansing. It was mercy disguised as division. And now, as the end draws near, that sword moves again through the earth. Churches divide. Preachers twist light into shadows. And multitudes follow what feels good rather than what is good. The shaking is not punishment, it is preparation. But what few realize is that before Christ separates the nations, He first separates the hearts. You can almost feel it in the air, the tension of belief. The comfort of compromise whispers, "You can have both." Yet the Spirit whispers something different. "Choose this day whom you will serve." This is the great test of faith. Not merely to confess Christ with our lips, but to remain faithful when faith no longer benefits us. When it isolates, when it costs reputation, friends, even dreams. There are those who still think faith will make their path easier. But heaven knows the truth. Real faith will make it narrower. And maybe that's the point. Maybe the path to glory was never wide. Maybe the gate to eternity was always small. Small enough for only one heart to pass through at a time, stripped of pride, stripped of comfort, carrying nothing but trust. In the days of Noah, there was a separation too. Not one of armies, but of hearts. Noah preached for decades while the world laughed. His obedience looked like madness. His faith looked like foolishness. But when the rain came, the mockers realized what heaven had been doing all along. A slow, quiet separation between those who listened and those who didn't. And today it happens again. The ark is not wood this time. It is faith. The flood is not of water. It is deception. And those who truly hear the shepherd's voice are entering a spiritual refuge that the world cannot see. Few will understand it until it's too late. The separation is already in motion, in churches, in homes, in hearts. But the ones who are being drawn apart are not being abandoned. They are being preserved. Some wonder, why would God allow this pain? Why let believers disagree? Families divide, friendships end. Because love without truth is a lie, and truth without testing is unproven. God refines faith the way gold is refined, through fire, through friction, through separation. Just as wheat is separated from chaff, so faith is separated from imitation. It's not cruelty, it's clarity. Heaven is preparing the bride of Christ to shine without stain or shadow. And to do that, the counterfeit must fall away. But take heart. Every separation ordained by God leads to a greater union. When Abraham was called to leave his home, it was not punishment. It was preparation. When Joseph was separated from his brothers, it was not rejection. It was refinement. Every divine separation makes room for divine purpose. And maybe the hidden separations you face right now, the loneliness, the loss, the questions, are not signs that God has abandoned you, but that He is setting you apart for something only you can carry. Even now, angels move quietly among men. They mark those who still sigh over the sins of the world, those whose hearts are still soft toward truth. Heaven sees every tear shed in secret faithfulness, every act of quiet obedience. This is how heaven counts its own, not by fame, not by followers, but by faith. And when the final trumpet sounds, when the world looks for its security in walls and crowns, the true church will already have been sealed, not with ink or mark, but with endurance. The great test of faith is not about knowledge. It is about love that endures in silence, trust that remains when God seems absent, and light that refuses to go out when surrounded by night. So if you find yourself walking a lonelier path, do not fear. You are not being abandoned, you are being refined. For in these last days, heaven is not losing believers. It is revealing them. The hidden separation is not the end. It is the beginning of glory.